Well, here's the tank. Today we're going to mark the doors to cut, and try to get the doors cut out. It's a 330-gallon propane tank. Measures roughly 9 foot 6 inches long and about 30 5/8 in diameter. Okay, here we are. We're back. I've went ahead and marked the doors. The doors are going to be about 43.5 inches long by 24 inches high. I took the circumference of the tank and measured off the bottom seam. That's a nice long straight seam, runs the length of the tank. Now, 1/4 of my circumference would be right around 24 inches. So that's, I wanted my door to be, a fourth of the diameter or the circumference of the tank. So I measured the length from the end seams, from one end seam to the other end seam was 49 inches. And that gave me a nice straight line that I could, measure off of. Half of 49 ends up being 44.5. I measured an inch to either side, which gave me a 2-inch strip down the middle to mount my grate runners on, for lack of a better term. Now I've leveled the tank. I've purged it once, and now I'm going through my second purge. Now I've leveled the tank out. That's very important. I'm going to have to, and I leveled to the valves instead of the tank itself, because I want no air bubbles inside. I want the water to push any propane that might be in here out. And I'm going to cut it full of water, just for safety's sake. I've never done this before. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert, but I'm going to do my best not to blow myself up. I measured 7 inches up from the bottom seam to the, I didn't want my bottom of my door resting on that seam. It was too low. So now I'm going to wait for this tank to finish filling, and then I'm going to start cutting. Well, here we are again. Tank's full of water now. We're been dodging raindrops here today. I'm going to start trying to cut this with a little trim saw I picked up actually at a yard sale for about 10 bucks. And we're going to see how that works and take it from there. If that don't work, we'll switch to an electric sawzall. Although I'd rather use a battery tool, cutting a tank with water in it. So let's see how it goes. Well, there it is. Doors are cut out. The trim saw didn't work out so well. A massive cooking area. So I ended up having to use a sawzall and an angle grinder. Went through 5 angle grinder metal cutoff discs, 5 sawzall blades. I guess all in all, not too bad. If I had it to do over again, I would probably make my doors drop off just below where these mounts are, or valves, just so I wouldn't be cutting through that extra little bit of steel there. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to build a fire in it, burn out any of this old propane smell, burn it out. We want to make sure that nothing, gets into the food we're making. So that'll be next.